Okay, so kita start. So this is a lecture. We look into how do we evaluate the information retrieval system. Um, so there are the technique lah on how do we evaluate, because when we ask someone to evaluate the system based on their own perception, different people will have different um, background. So when they judge or when they evaluate the system, it will be very subjective. Okay. So in order to evaluate the information system, we have to measure how well the system meets the information needs of the user, meaning that um, how many percentage of the document given back to the user are relevant to the user themselves. So based on this, each of us will be able to evaluate the system based on the selection that we made by clicking at the document. Okay, so to deal with the problem with different pers- um, perception, because each one of us will have our own perception, we have to use some metrics that will have some kind of correlation with the preference of a group of a user. So meaning that when the three of us evaluate the system, so they will take the average of um, the result, and then that is the final evaluation. So we can perform similar evaluation to other system. Okay, but before we can use this evaluation system, we have to know what are the criteria that will be taken into consideration in evaluating the information system retrieval. Okay. So without proper retrieval evaluation, we cannot determine how well the IR system is performing. So we need to have a proper retrieval evaluation. And then by using that, we can compare the performance of different IR systems. So the retrieval evaluation is a critical and integral component of any modern IR system. So meaning that when you develop an IR system, you need to evaluate them. So we have to um, perform some experiment and then validate our finding using a new data set that we have. So by doing that one, we can say that we have done um, an effective experimental setup that we can use to evaluate the IR system. Okay, so before we proceed, we have to look at some of the reference that we have. So we will define a set D. Where's my pencil? Okay, a set D as a pre-selected document. So these are the pre-selected document. You will be given this document. So contohnya dokumen 1 sampai 20 lah. Okay. And also you'll be given set I, which is an information need description used for testing. So this is the background that we need to do in order to perform the testing. And then we try to uh, associate the document and also the information that we have. So meaning that um, any information that we have from this set, we need to relate to the document that we have in the pre-selected document. So if we manage to relate this, that means we can say that, okay, this document is relevant. Okay, so relevant. Okay, if document DJ is non-relevant to this information given, and we will give them as 0 lah. So in other words, this is the document that we have in given to you by the search engine or by the information system retrieval, and this is the concept or the information that you are looking at. If you manage to associate the concept or the keyword or the query that you key in with the document that we have, then we will set them to be 1, meaning that they are relevant to your information. Otherwise, you will set them to 0. Okay? So these judgments are produced by human specialists, meaning that all the process will be done by you, by human being. Okay? So 0 means they are not relevant. 1 means they are relevant to the concept that we are talking about here. So this is the set I of information need description used for testing. Okay? So this is the keyword or the concept that we are looking at, and then we want to relate to the document retrieved and given to us. Okay? Boleh? Okay. So the metrics that we use for retrieval is called precision and recall, and we also have the single value summary. Single value summary meaning that we take at a particular point in the retrieval what is the precision and what is the recall value. Okay. Okay. So we will look into the precision and recall first. Okay. So this precision and recall can be differentiated by looking at what is the denominator, apa dia punya pembagi lah. Okay, so given this is the information that you are looking at or try to find the information, and R will be a set of relevant document for the concept that you are looking at. But this is given to you. Okay, so this is the set of relevant document, but A is the document that given to you or retrieved for you. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have the intersection between the relevant document and the answer given to you must be R. Okay, so meaning that all of this, so meaning that your written document must be equal to the relevant document that you have. So the intersection of R and R will be R. Okay, so but if there are a few here, so what we want to have is this is your relevant document kan, and this is your given. Okay, so we want to maximize this area so that your R is here and also your A also here, and the intersection is full. Okay, so this is the definition when we say the intersection of R and A. So this is what will be what we looking at. Okay, so based on this intersection, kita akan define what is this precision and recall. Okay, so precision is we want to know from this intersection how many of them what we say, how precise is the information that you have. Okay, so if in this case A is equal to R, meaning that they are the same set of documents, so meaning your precision will be high. Otherwise rendah. Okay, so this is your precision. Okay, let's take a look at the actual definition. So okay, we go back here, but what we want to have is something like this. So um, out of this all relevant document, how much is being retrieved? So meaning that the intersection of R and A divided by R. So this is recall. Because dari this set of relevant document, how much is being retrieved is this one. So this is recall. Okay. So the definition that we are looking at here is this one. So this is the size of your relevant document. So contohnya if you have relevant document 10, so based on this intersection, how much document yang bertindih di sini between the R and A. So if let's suppose your relevant document here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So your relevant document sini 10, tapi yang di dalam intersection ini only 3. Okay? So that means your percentage of recall is only 30% lah. So meaning that 30% of the relevant document only being retrieved. Okay. So but let's suppose yang kena retrieve to is 5. Okay. So for the precision here, so the intersection of R and A is 3, but the document retrieved to you is 5 because we have 3 here and 2. So 5. Okay, so your precision is 60%. Okay, so notice that for the recall, we are looking at the relevant document as the pembagi lah. But when we are looking at the precision, we look at the size of the document given to you, which is 5. Okay, so yang atas tu still the same. Okay, so now let's take a look at how do we apply this recall and precision. Boleh follow this recall and precision, two different things lah. Recall is the fraction of relevant document which has been retrieved. So how many percentage of the relevant document that you have in the retrieved document. Yang ini pula fraction of the retrieved document that mengandungi relevant document. So two different things. But the end of the day, we want to maximize these two. Okay. So the only way we can maximize these two is by having R and intersection A. They are full overlapping. Okay, let's take a look at this. How do we use this one in the actual scenario? Okay, let's suppose we have this query 1, and for the query 1, these are the relevant document that we have. Okay, so we have 3, 3, 4, so 10 document. Okay, tapi when we type in type in the query in the new IR algorithm, we only have we are given this 15 document. This 15 document, and mark 1 is the relevant document that we have. Okay. So how do we apply this precision and recall, and then how do we use precision and recall to plot a graph to show the performance of the IR system? Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we have to do one by one. Okay, one by one, or maybe we can look at the relevant document sejak di sini. Okay, so kita tengok di sini. What is our recall here? Okay, when we at this position, the number of relevant document yang kita ada cuma satu. So since kita ada 10 relevant document, so our recall will be only 1 out of 10. Okay, when we at this position, we only have 1 document which is relevant out of 10. So the recall is 10. No, 1 over 10. Okay, so what is the precision that we have here? Okay, at this position, the number of document being retrieved is only 1. And out of this one, we have 1 relevant document. So the precision is 1 over 1, 100%. Okay. Okay, now we go to the second relevant document, which is this one. At this point, we are looking at this box. Okay. So the recall for this one is in that particular box, how many relevant document we have? Berapa relevant document?
2. Ya.
Nah, 2 lah kan. So di dalam box tu cuma 2. So 2 out of 10 kan? Sebab kita punya relevant document 10 kan? Okay, betul. So what is the precision there? What is
Samakan over 2.
berapa?
2 over 2. Yeah.
No. The precision here,
100%.
the precision here looking at, okay, how many relevant document yang kita ada? 2 kan?
2. Yes, 2.
Okay. Tapi yang di bawah dia ni, how many number of document yang kena retrieve? 3.
Oh, 3.
3 kan?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
perbezaan di antara recall and precision is that recall yang pembahagi dia
yeah.
tu we always look at here. But when we look at the precision, we look at how many document that we have here. So which is 3. So this is 67% lah. Kan? Okay. Okay, coba di sini. So meaning that at this position, we are looking at the 6 document. Okay. What is the recall here? How many relevant document up to this point? Which include all this lah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from this 6, how many relevant document we have?
3 over 10.
This is 3 over 10. Okay. Okay, what is the precision?
3 over 6.
3 over 6. Okay, so for precision, we look at what has been retrieved at that particular point, kan? Number of document, and out of this 6, how many relevant document? 3. So this is the precision lah. So the precision is 50%, but the recall is 30%. Okay, okay, for this document, what is the recall?
4 over 10.
4 over 10, and what is the precision?
4/10.
Yeah, 4/10 also. Because the number of relevant document is 4, and then the number of document retrieved is 10 for the precision lah. For the recall, the number of relevant document is 4 out of 10 because we have 10 relevant document here. Okay, last one, this one. What is the recall?
Five over 15.
5/10.
5/10. Because recall, we only look
Oh,
at
yeah.
this. And okay, for the precision,
5/15.
yeah, 5/15. Okay, so so now we want to summarize the total evaluation here, but in order for us to summarize them, we have to plot a graph. So we need to plot a graph, precision versus recall. No, recall versus precision. So your precision is y. Okay. So so this is the one that we have done lah. Okay. So now we will look into this one. So kita punya first point tadi tu yang sini. So 1/1 and 1/10. So we look at the recall. So the recall 10 is 100, and then the next one is what? The recall is 20%, and then 67%. So the recall 20% is this one. So this one lah. Okay, and then the third one too, the recall is 30%, and the precision is 50%. Okay, so 30% and 50%. Okay, and then the next one is 40% recall, and then this is also 40%. So we need to complete this table first. Okay, and then the last one is this one. The recall is 50%, and this is 30%. 33, yeah, 1/3 lah. So 1/3 is 33. Okay, so this is the information that we get from the 5 document too. So for recall 0, we just copy this one. So we copy up ni. But for the rest of the recall here, this is 0. Okay, so we change this one to a graph. So recall and then precision here, and then this is our graph for the query one that we have. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to maximize this one so that dia boleh jadi macam ni. Okay, because we want to have 100% precision and 100% recall. So we aiming for here. Okay, so if you have a graph that's similar to this, but they cover more area, that means they are better. So we want to maximize to this direction. So the more you cover area under the curve, the better they are. Okay, boleh. So this is how we summarize the quality of the information retrieval by computing area under the curve here. Okay, I'll give you one more example here. Okay, what is the recall here? We have three documents which are relevant. So what is the recall here?
Up until 3 kah, sir?
Yeah, we have 3 saja. 3 document.
1/3.
So at this position, we have the recall is 1/3 because out of 3, only 1 yang being retrieved, kan?
Yep.
So what is the precision?
1/3 also.
1/3, kan? Because kita tengok dari sini. So daripada 3 dokumen ini cuma 1 yang relevant. Okay, what is this one? What is the recall?
2/3.
2/3. What is the precision?
2/8.
2/8. Okay. Okay, last one, this one. So the recall is
3/3.
3/3. The precision is
3/15.
3/15. Okay, so cukup training sudah. So we convert this one to percentage. So this is 33.3. This is also 33.3. This one is 66.7. So this is 25%. Kan? So 1/4. So this is 100%. And this is 33.3. Okay. So we'll look at this number and we transfer this one here. So the first one is the recall is 33 and the precision is 33. Yeah. So since our recall is 33.3, so kita akan bulatkan dia pergi 30. Sebab kita punya recall ni kan dia 10% 10% saja. Okay. So we bulatkan dia pergi yang terdekat sekali, so 30 and then 33. Okay. And then the next one is 66 and 25. The recall is 66. So di sini kita ambil 60 and we have 25. Okay. And the last one is 100% 33. So 100%. 3/15, 33. Why 20? Nggak silap nggak sih?
20% bukan 20%.
Yes, we
3
have
over
3.
50, 20.
Oh yeah,
3 over 15, 20%.
20% bahkan.
1/5.
1/5. Ya, saya ingat 1/3. Betul lah kan? So 20 kan? Habis selalu nampak 3 terus 1/3. So this is 20% lah kan? So dia punya recall 100 and dia punya precision is 20%. So here. Okay. So we know the value for 30%, 60%, and 100%. Okay, but the rest we don't know. So for that one, we start from bawah 2 and we copy to here. So we drag this one up lah. And then similar to this is empty kan? So we drag this one up juga. And then this one up. And then when we plot, we have this lah. Okay, so notice that the difference between this one and this one. So this one dia cover less area, This one dia cover more area. Okay. Tapi ini based on query number 2. Okay, this is based on query number 2. So you have query number 1 and you have query number 2. And then for us to evaluate the performance of the system is we have to take the average. So we take the average lah. Okay, so for that one, we look at the average. We look at the number of query and we take the average for all the precision and the recall that we have. Okay, so for example, this is the first query. This is the second query. Okay, so we take this 100 and we take this, we add up, we divide by 2, we get this. Okay, so similar to this, we add up with that, divide by 2, we get 10. Okay, so basically we cari the average between all the query. So since in this case, in this example, we only have 2 query, so we divide by 2. And this is the graph that we have. So this is the final evaluation of this particular IR system based on 2 query. Okay, so if you want to evaluate the system using 5 query, using 5 different people, so we just take the average and then we plot the graph. So this is the final graph. So your skill in this area needed is you need to be able to compute the recall and the precision and construct this table and then produce this graph. So it depends on the number of query that you have. You will construct the final plot of graph by taking the average. And this is your final evaluation. Okay. Any question?
Okay.
Boleh kan? Okay, so if I have these two kind of ranking, the first one is the blue and the second one is the black one. So which one is better?
Black.
The black one. We never know until we compute the area under the curve. So we cannot just based on the visualization, we say, okay, black is better. So how do we compute area under the curve? Okay. That one I think will come later on. Okay, this is your exercise, but I will pause a different set. Okay, so for this one, we have to be able to compute area under the curve and know what is the formula for us to tell that the blue one is better or the black one is better. So now we look at the single value summary. So this is a very basic one. We look at a single precision value at one particular point. Okay. So normally we will look at the precision at 5, meaning that precision at document 10 or no 5. This one is precision at document 10. Okay, so for example, this one we want to say what is the precision for when we are at document 5. So what is the precision here? So this is, we only have 5 document, and out of 5 we have 2 relevant kan? So 40% lah. we can also query here what is the precision at this one. So now we have 10. Okay, but we have 4 documents which are relevant 4 of 10. Okay, if I ask you what is the precision at 12. So this one is looking at this and above. So how many documents you have? 12 plus 4. So this is 1/3. Kan? So basically this single value summary, they are looking at a particular point in your retrieve document. You will be able to find the precision at that particular point. Okay. Okay. When you are here, when you see, so this is P at 14. What is the precision? What is the precision here?
4/14.
Okay. 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 So when I say how do we determine the which one is better? So we're talking about this mean average precision. So we look at the number of document that we have, and also we look at the number of query, and we are looking at the precision that we have at that particular point. Okay, so if you look at this one, so the area under the curve can be calculated here. So meaning that for okay, so in the first query we have 10 document, kan? So what we need to do is we just add up all the value of the uh, this is precision that we have. Okay, so we add up the value for all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, tapi di dalam anu lah, not over 1. Okay, so this is kira 1, this is 0.66 and so on. Okay, because the formula here referring to precision. Your precision is either 0 or 1. Okay, so we add up all this value and then divide by 10 because this is the number of document which is relevant lah. Okay, so the Q here referring to number of relevant document. Okay, so this is the mean average precision, which is the area under the curve lah. So if you look at one more example here. Okay, let's suppose we have 5 document here. So this is just to give you a fast overview, a fast simulation. Okay, so at this particular point, our recall is 1/5. Our precision is 1. Okay, at this position, the recall is 2/5, and the precision is 2/3. And this one, the recall is 3/5, and then the precision is 3/6. Okay, and this one, and so on. Okay, so if you look at this one copy this, and then this one copy this, and then this one copy this. Huh? So the recall is still the same. Okay, this is for query number 1. Okay, query number 2, we only have 3. So this is the recall and precision. Okay, the question is, what is the area under the curve or the mean average precision for this? So what you need to do is, you only take the blue one. You add up all this number and you divide by 5. Okay, so similar to this, you only take the precision here and then you divide by 3. Okay, so what is the mean average precision for all? Simply adding this up and divide by 2. Okay, boleh. So this is a bigger picture yang ada the beginning of this is we learn how to compute recall and precision. So now once we know how to compute the recall and precision, given a few query, you need to be able to compute area under the curve for individual query, and then you finalize the final evaluation by taking the average. So this is the average. Okay. And this is another. But before that, do you have any question for this? No.
So far, okay.
So far okay. So I think no problem tuh kalau disuruh buat assignment kan. Okay, so this is another view on how we look at the quality of the information system. So we are looking at the R precision here, similar to what we have at the single value summary, but this one is more on um, the R precision. So this one is looking at the R precision for algorithm A at the I query, meaning that we are looking at the precision at the document 5. We are looking at the precision at document 5. So we take the difference. So in this case, 0. Okay, we take another one, this one, and this one. So the difference is 0.11. So this one is higher. So when we plot the graph is something like this. So the A is the query number 1 and B is query number 2. So sometimes you get 0, sometimes you get positive, and sometimes you get negative. So depending on the differences between ini lah. So this one, if you take the difference, this one will be positive. Later on, yeah. So this is just to the number of to show you which one is better based on using this, what we call it, R precision. Okay. Last one is this one. Since we have the precision and the recall, we have this F measure, or sometimes they call it F1. So what they do is they combine the recall and the precision to become one. Okay, so only when you have the recall equal to 1 and your precision equal to 1, the whole formula will be 1. So the idea is to maximize recall and the precision. Okay, so this is the formula. For example, if we take one example, let's suppose we are looking at the F score for when we are at document 8 for query 1. Okay, so for query 1, kita ambil yang sini lah. Kita ambil balik this query 1. So this is our query 1. So when we are here, what is the recall? The recall is 3/10, 30%. And the precision is 3/8. And so to answer that one, we have here, we go back here. So this is equivalent to 2. The recall is what? The recall is 30%, kan? Plus this is 3/8 tadi tu kan? 3/8. Okay. So you just saja lah. Simplify this one. So notice that if your recall is 1 and your precision is 1, the whole thing will become 1. So if this is small and this is small, so your F score will be lower. So if this is high, this is low, or this is high, this is low, you will not be getting high F score. So you need to have both to have high score. Okay, so the F measure is just a way for them to combine the precision and recall and make a single number to indicate the performance of the IR system. Okay, so let's conclude this session. Don't worry, you will have homework for that one.